Hey guys, thanks for being here. I'm Jordan and I'm back with another episode. And today we're going to talk about protecting yourself from emotional extortion. Do you ever walk away from a conversation feeling drained? Like somehow you're the one apologizing even though you were the one hurting? That may not just be miscommunication. It could also be emotional extortion. It doesn't always look like shouting or threats. Sometimes it's a sigh, a look, or a guilt trip wrapped in soft words. And it leaves you feeling like you owe someone something just for expressing how you feel. Let's talk about it. Emotional extortion is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it slips into conversations disguised as guilt, shame, or playing the victim. In family dynamics, it might sound something like, "All right, I'm the worst person in the world then." Not because they really believe that, but because they want you to back down, to feel guilty for bringing up your truth, to shift the conversation away from what hurt you and back to all the things they went through instead of accepting accountability. In relationships, it might show up as, "If you really loved me, you'd do this for me." Not a conversation, a condition. It makes love feel like a transaction, where your proof of love is measured by how often you ignore your own needs. You're made to feel selfish for choosing what's right for your emotional health. In friendships, it might look like, "I guess I care more than you," when really, you're just overwhelmed or finally setting a boundary. Emotional extortion isn't always intentional, but the result is still the same. Your truth gets buried, and someone else's comfort becomes the main character. There are long-term effects of emotional extortion. It chips away at your ability to trust your own feelings. You begin to question your instincts, to silence yourself before you even speak, to learn to scan the room for other people's moods before you check in on your own. This can lead to things like people-pleasing as a survival strategy, chronic guilt whenever you try to set boundaries, feeling like love is to be earned, not received. It teaches you saying no means losing love, that disagreeing means being abandoned, and that your needs come after someone else's emotions. But the truth is, if love requires you to shrink yourself, to apologize for existing honestly, then that's not love. It's more like control wearing love's clothing. There are ways you can protect yourself from this kind of treatment, especially when it's masked as love. Emotional extortion doesn't always sound like a threat. Sometimes it sounds like a whisper from someone you love saying something like, "But I thought you cared." And that's what can make it so dangerous. It's subtle, it's wrapped in guilt. It makes you second guess your own needs, your own boundaries, your own truth. So how do you protect yourself? You name it. You call it what it is. Manipulation, not love. Because love doesn't demand that you abandon yourself to prove your loyalty. You need to detach from guilt. You're not a bad person for having limits. You're not a cruel person for needing space. And you are not selfish for saying, "No, this does not feel right." Learn how to get comfortable disappointing people, especially the ones who've grown comfortable benefiting from you not taking care of you first. Let them be uncomfortable with your boundaries. Let them call your truth betrayal if it means you get to live in alignment with your soul. Because what you need to remember, you are not responsible for how someone reacts to your healing. When love becomes a transaction, like, "If you really love me, then you would prove it by abandoning yourself." No, that's not love. That's emotional debt collection from someone who doesn't know how to love without control. And your healing journey, it can't afford to be owned by guilt anymore. You are not here to be emotionally managed by someone else's wounds. You are here to heal, to grow, and to break free. And on that note, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you until next time. Take care. Peace and love.